Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. Welcome to Dark Sorcery. I'm your favorite necromancer, Angelus, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about the African spiritual um, dietas. A lot of newcomers that come into just about any religion, they bring with them a form of dogma that hinders their ability to learn, to grow. So lately, since my better half and I split, I've really delved back into my roots. I've taken a lot of time to reflect upon my past, my present, and most importantly, where I want to take my practices into the future. And I was talking, ironically, last night with my mother, and she basically pointed out the fact that I can move wherever I want. I said the one place that I would love to move to, or back to, I should say, is the one place that would take me away from my son. Okay. And she says, "Where's that?" And I go, "Tucson." Because Tucson is where I really got heavily influenced by the African Caribbean traditions, such as Santeria and Palo Mayombe, but also where my interest in Haitian Voodoo really piped up, over about 12, 13 years ago. So I thought I'd take a moment and kind of discuss the Orisha with you with a little bit of the Loa, if you will. So the thing about the Orisha is a lot of them symbolize a lot of the paganistic deities, but also they mimic that of the Voodoo. So if we're looking at wisdom and divination, for an example, a lot of times you would probably be interested in thinking, okay, wisdom, that's Athena, the Greek goddess of wisdom and warfare, right? Well, then you have Hecate, the goddess of divination, witchcraft, sorcery, and necromancy. Okay, so those two would probably be the two closest to this Orisha, known as Orunla. Okay, Orunla is one of those goddesses that really delve deep into human nature. Okay, but if you think about the divination purposes here, because when you get into this path, it doesn't matter if you're into Satanism, necromancy, Palo Mayombe, or just plain voodoo, whatever. You want to realize that it's about growing. It's about you. It's about understanding your path and how it's constantly changing with the more knowledge that you take in. So you have to use wisdom in this case. And a lot of times when I run into an issue, like say a topic, let's say for an example, after my better half and I split up, I spent almost a month just staying here in the apartment. I was kind of lost trying to figure out. I was in a very dark place, you know, because the last thing I wanted to be is like my father before me. And so after about 2 3 weeks, I ended up pulling out my cartomancy deck, and I started doing tarot reads. Started asking a lot of questions, dealing with a wide range of topics. I even went into my temple and called upon this particular Orisha. Okay. But it wasn't just her that I called upon. I also opened the doors for other spirits of divining purposes, such as the oracle. Okay. Any being that had anything to do with being an oracle, um, dealing with divination, dealing with prophecy, dealing with past, present, and future. And yes, I even went into demonolatry. Okay. I even went right into demonolatry to try to figure this out. And one of the things that came out of this was I started working out again. Okay. I got my weight benches from my mother's house and I just started pumping iron. Okay. I started doing cardiovascular activities. And then I ended up getting a job. Okay. The last place I wanted to be was back in Duncan. But you know what? I love it. Okay. It's that low key type of business that really wears you out. But at the same time, it was one of those businesses that it's challenging at times. So I went to work for a different owner. Okay. And here I am there almost a month now. Almost a month. Just about a month almost. Okay. My name's on the wall. I'm up for a $25 gift card. I really care, I don't really care about that, but um I'm getting paid weekly. Okay. And it's ironic of how this particular Orisha has a way of showing you the doors that you are able to walk through, but more so what lies on beyond that veil through wisdom. If you go left, it's diversity. If you go to the right, it's acceptance, if you will. Okay, just as an example. But even if you take it into the forces of nature, wondering why, let's say, for an example, you use the term, why was did this happen? Okay. Why did my family break up? Why did we separate? What went wrong in the relationship? You begin to doubt yourself. You get angry. Okay. You go into that very, very dark place within your own mind, within your own soul. And eventually you're going to come out of that and you're going to end up calling Asian, Ozian, rather. Ozian is the Orisha of human nature. Okay. Healing and hunting and herbalism. She's one of those Orisha that will really help you to understand emotion in people's nature. Some people are just not meant to be tied down to a single individual. You know, others are more players. Others, yeah, let's get married. Let's have a family. Whatever. You know, Ozian is that Orisha that really helps define the nature of somebody's personality. And she can really guide you into that area. Um, for those of you looking for acceptance, love, marriage, even a relationship, go with Oshan. Okay. That's Oshun. Okay. That's how you spell this Orisha's name. Very simplistic. She deals with family situation, family ties, blood ties. Okay. Bringing people together. Anything to do with that firm foundation of love and marriage. Oya, my patroness. Okay. My beloved Oya. As a necromancer, I work heavily with Oya. She is the goddess of the dead, of cemeteries and crossroads and windstorms. Okay, if you think about this particular Oya, this particular Orisha, you're looking at, say, for an example, Hel in Norse mythology, the goddess of the land of the dead, or let's say, for an example, Inanna, of ancient Sumar, or Astara. Let's say, let's go with Persephone, or who became the wife of Hades, half the year, or that of, say, Isis, who went to the underworld and became associated with Anubis to bring back her beloved husband, Osiris. Okay, even Osiris was the god of iniquity. Okay, where he judged you by your own iniquity. And what's ironic is, like Anubis, for an example, Anubis is the protector of cemeteries and the grave. He is known as the embalmer. He is the Lord of the Dead, the necromantic judger. I mean, you consider that he's the one that literally holds the weight in the hand, the scale, just like Osiris does. But instead of the gold versus the feather, you're dealing with the heart, the human heart in the feather. Ushan, or Oya, is the exact same way here. Oya is the exact same way. She is the one that will judge your heart being true or not when it comes to dealing with ancestors, calling on your ancestors. If you get into Haitian Voodoo, you have the Rada spirit, the Rada Loa, known as Baron Samedi, not to be mistaken for Baroness Dambella. Okay, both of these two spirits are Loa of the dead. Okay, and they all have their own unique personalities. Okay, Yamea is much like the Lady of the Lake, um, Poseidon, if you will, the Lord of the Oceans, protector of sailors. Okay, which is kind of cool if you think about it. Those of you who have actually had an opportunity to swim in the ocean, I don't know if you've ever taken a cruise ship where the cruise ship just stops and allows you to take out like speed. What are those called? Those little motorcycle type boats there that people use on the beaches and stuff. You probably know what I'm talking about there. Or you can take out a raft, or whatever, into the ocean and everything, and just kind of just hang out with whales and dolphins and stuff like that. Or you can just go swimming in the ocean. If you've ever taken a cruise ship like that, this is one of the Orisha, one of the main spirits that I would recommend to you if you prefer to be on the water. You like to go canoeing, you like to go fishing, you like to just sunbathe out on the lake, and kind of just stare up at the sky. You know, Yamea is the goddess, Orisha, that will do that. She will protect you. She will watch over you. She is the guardian of waters, lakes, and seas. And so, I mean, I would recommend calling on her if that's your type of deal. Okay, again, you. A lot of times when you hear of violence, earthquakes, volcanoes erupting, a lot of times you think, okay, apocalyptic. Here we go. The Christians are at it again. Yada yada yada. Well, guess what? The four horsemen of the apocalypse, spoken of in chapter 6 of the book of Revelations, the one on the red horse happens to be war, ladies and gentlemen. Egg and you resides over violence, the major eruptions, the earthquakes, the natural disasters that you would face in life. Okay. Baba Babalu Ai. That's AYE for those of you who do not know. Okay. If you've been sick for a long time, if you are begging any number of gods for healing, okay. If you're looking for healing, if you're looking for uh, to curse somebody into becoming ill, whatever. Babalo A is the Orisha that you want to go to. Now, personally, I don't work with this Orisha because of the fact that I have my own particular pantheon of demonic entities that I turn to when I go to use curses, hexes, or jinxes. So I've never really had the use for this particular Orisha. Chengo. Chengo. Ooh. Now there's one that you want to really give homage to right there. Chengo. The Orisha of fire, thunder, and lightning. Think Thor in this case. Think Thor because he wields the lightning. He wields that thunder, and when he speaks, it is commanding. It's intimidating, really. Egolua. This particular one is like Mephistopheles, a trickster, a warrior spirit, and most importantly, much like Papa Legba. Okay, that's right, Papa Legba, out of the Haitian Voodoo pantheon of Loa, Radi Loa. This particular Orisha is a gate opener. He's the opener of doorways, the crossroads demon, if you will. Okay. I'm not calling her a demon. She's a folk saint, plain and simple. But what I'm saying is that those of you who like to watch the show like Supernatural, starring Dean, and Sam Winchester. Okay, they always summon the crossroads demons. Why? Okay, what is it about the crossroads between hoodooism, between voodoo and Santeria and Palo Mayambi, Quimbanda even? Okay, what is it about the crossroads that makes that particular attraction? Well, if you think about it, it's the balance factor, number one. Number two, it is the door between good and evil, light and dark. Okay, as Constantino so colorfully put it in his equal armed cross analogy in Nocturnal Witchcraft. Okay, but here we're looking at the fact that there are different roads that can be taken, different paths to the graveyards, to the other dimensions in the realms. Okay, this is something that is very cool, and I would recommend that if you get onto any pantheon workings, that you take the time to learn the different classifications of spirits within that pantheon. Okay, for example, within Haitian Voodoo, you have three different types of Loa. You have the Rada, which was created by Bandi, the overall god. Okay, the supreme god that is so far away that he had to create the Loa as intermediaries, the go-betweens, to reside and watch over mankind. Okay, then you have the Petra family of Loa. These ones here I would not recommend for an amateur, namely because of the fact if you do not have a sound foundation underneath you, they will ruin your life. Okay. They are very aggressive, very baneful in nature. They're uncontrollable. They're not disciplined like you or I would be in a public situation, so to speak. In this case, the Petra family of Loa are more like the Coco Daemons out of Greek mythology. Okay. And then you have the Gedi family of Loa. Now, the Gedi family of Loa are the Loa that are not bound by blood. They have no family lineage, and it's run by Papa Gedi. Okay. Now, what's interesting here is that between the Rada and the Gedi family of Loa, they will guide you and teach you of the ancestral path workings, the rituals. They'll introduce you to your ancestors. They will introduce you to magical abilities. And if you make pacts with them, well, guess what? You will be held accountable, just like with the Orisha, just like with demons, just like the Jinn. Okay? You will be held accountable. So I would recommend highly that you learn who is who within the systems. Okay? And then learn the customs, the divining tools. Okay? Learn the tools, learn how to do the rituals. Then and only then can you become a practitioner. Okay? One of the things that I do recommend to people, especially these days, is take 1 year, 1 year, okay, and completely dedicate yourself to a single pantheon, a single traditional working. If you get into Santeria, then spend 1 year in that, studying everything that it's about. Practice its customs. Create a grimoire, a journal. Keep track on your progress throughout that year, and then spend a day to reflect upon that year. In the Celtic Golden Dawn system, it is called a year and a day. And this practice is very, very beneficial to the practitioner. Even if you get into Palo Mayumbi or Palo Monte, both of these are two different and separate traditions because even though they both deal with houses, here's the kicker. Palo Mayumbi is actually the physical practices. It's more about black magic in its purest, its most selfish and beneficial means, whereas Pedro Monte is more spiritual in dealing with the Orisha and the spirits. Okay, so in the same likely, I would recommend the same deal with any tradition, and not just the African Caribbean traditions. Over the last couple of months, I have really been delving deep into the Necromayicon, but for some reason, my mind has been on Santeria and Pedro Mayumbi lately. I don't know why. That is something I'm still communing with the Orisha upon. That is why I'm still working with my patrons and patronesses, trying to figure out why is it on my mind? What is it about Tucson that is still the one place that I would move back to if I could? Okay. So again, you want to use wisdom, you want to use the tools of the trade, but I would recommend keeping a journal of your thoughts, your feelings. I would recommend keeping a grimoire of whatever practices that you have mastered and learned and picked up as you are continuing on that journey throughout that system. Okay. So keep that in mind. I hope this has been enlightening. I hope it's been educational. And keep those horns up high and continue delving into that knowledge. Remember, there's two aspects here. Number one, whatever you preach, always back it up with numerous sources and always make yourself available to the public. All right. Have a good one, and until next time, I'm out.